I just proffered this idea. If YouTube had been around in the 1850s, then surely the talking against slavery would have been against community policy, because it would have been against whatever the WHO equivalent or the government standards. So they would have censored that. And surely that would have been a wrong thing to do. And then again, into the 50s or the 60s with Martin Luther King, they would have censored him. They would have censored Stonewall protests in New York City for the gay rights movement. That would have all been clearly against community standards or three-letter acronym organizations. And therefore, there's no debate. There's no advancement of ideas. So yeah, I mean, I kind of threw those out, but it's great to hear you explain that and then put it in that bucket of clear and present danger. Because yeah, you could come on and say David's saying something that would create a pandemic of clear and present danger. And then who makes the call?
Exactly. So let David Icke have his voice on your show. Let Alex Jones rant on Joe Rogan and drink whiskey and smoke marijuana and go on and on about the lizard aliens running the world or whatever the latest crazy conspiracy theory is. I find it rather entertaining. I find it hard to believe that people believe it, but I don't want the government deciding, what people should hear. That's moving toward tyranny and autocracy. That's the wrong direction. I'd rather teach people how to think critically about any claims.
Yeah.
So, for example, here's another example I use. So in the book, I talk about David Irving, who, as you know, resides in the UK, and he's kind of a noted Holocaust denier. He calls himself a revisionist, but whatever. And that was that big lawsuit he filed against Deborah Lipstadt for calling him a Holocaust denier, and so on and so forth. Anyway, he was arrested when he went to Austria at the airport. He went there to give a speech. And he not only did he not give the speech, he was just thinking about giving the speech. So in a way, it's a thought crime, because they had him flagged in the airport computer system when you scan the passport that, oh, this is that guy, that rabble-rouser, Holocaust denier guy. We don't want him in our country. Okay, so I actually, he was convicted and he was jailed. So I wrote a letter to the judge on his behalf. Now, I'm like one of the world's leading debunkers of Holocaust denial. I can articulate 20 reasons why David Irving is wrong. But on his behalf, you're locking somebody up for just saying what they think about something that happened during the Second World War, even if he's completely wrong. So my analogy is, let's say I'm a historian of Native American history, and there's a debate about how many Native Americans died between the time Columbus arrived here and, let's say, the late 20th century. And, and the numbers vary a lot. How many were here before? We don't know exactly. Maybe it was 90 million, maybe it was 50 million. How many died? Maybe it was 90%, mostly of disease, but some of guns and so forth. But let's say I'm a historian. I go, you know what? I think the numbers are way off. I think it's more like 10 million. And maybe only 7 million of those died at the hands of Europeans. Am I a denier? Am I a Holocaust denier for articulating that position? That just can't be right. Therefore I should be silenced. No. It's like, I understand why in Germany they want to outlaw Holocaust denial and so forth, for historical reasons, but it's still wrong. Yeah. Because it's better to just give us your best arguments, David. What are the 10 things you think are the problem with the Holocaust story? And let's evaluate them. End of story.